I often say this is the golden era of Chiefs football, and only 2 players have been here for all playoff wins under Coach Reid here in Kansas City. Travis Kelce and this guy, James Winchester, number 41. We are under the goalposts. And James, when you think about that, think about over 140 games played here in Kansas City. You think about 18 playoff games, 2 Super Bowl championships, all the AFC title games. What's that all mean to you? I mean, can you believe it?
It's incredible. Thinking back on it, some of the things that come to my mind is growing up in, small town, Class A Oklahoma, walking on to the University of Oklahoma, and then being removed from football for 3 years and then finding my way to Kansas City. And then to be here and watch this thing build, be a part of the organization, be a part of some great teams, but then go from great to Super Bowls. Incredible. Having the opportunity to win 2 and play in 3, more than I could have ever asked or thought.
Well, let's go back to 2015. It's training camp, and you're in a competition to earn that long snapper job. What was that experience like, and what did it mean to you when you realized you're going to be on an active roster for an NFL team?
Well, going into it, I thought that, you'd have a I've arrived moment where, you make the team and, hey, here we go. What you realize is you accomplish a goal by making the team, but then you got to stay on the team. So you have to keep your job week to week. And in 2015, we opened up against the Houston Texans. At the time, J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney were on the punt return team. And so week 1, we were rolling. So, just trying to perfect my craft as a long snapper, become the best player that I could be, and try to stick around.
Now, how'd you even get into this? I mean, you were a skill position guy initially at Oklahoma. Yeah. When did you realize I'm going to be a long snapper?
Well, I was working with my dad in high school. I was junior high, late junior high, and he was a punter at Oklahoma, won a national championship there in 1985, and so I grew up working on punts and drops. And one day we were on the field there in Washington, Oklahoma, where I grew up, and he said, "Hey, snap me one." So I snapped him a ball. It was pretty good.
Wow.
And he gave me some of the greatest advice. Honestly, to this day, he said, "Hey, that was pretty good snap." He said, "Keep practicing that, put it in your back pocket, you might use it someday." And lo and behold, our parents always know best. And so I kept that, and honestly tried to walk on as a wide receiver at Oklahoma in 2008, and realized it was gonna be a hard thing to make the team at the time. They were a very talented team that year. And it just so happened Derek Shaw, the veteran long snapper at the time at Oklahoma, had partially tore his Achilles tendon, wasn't going to be ready, and I thought, hey, here's an opportunity to make the team. And so I officially started long snapping in 2008, going into my freshman year, walking on at Oklahoma.
It's amazing the way life works out, isn't it?
Absolutely, incredible.
You just seize that opportunity.
That's right.
Now, obviously, long snapping is hard. I don't think people realize just how hard it is, though. Can you talk about the mechanics of it? I mean, you know how many rotations it's going until it gets to Tommy. I mean, how difficult truly is it?
Well, I mean, perfecting the craft is the name of the game. We make something that's difficult look very easy, but it's just through thousands and hundreds of thousands of repetitions. And the more you do it, the better you get, and you just try to critique it. Where if it's a snap that's looked perfect to you, it's not perfect to me. It's kind of a game of misses, and so you just try to perfect that craft to the best of your ability, and have been able to do that, in a way to stay around and keep playing in the National Football League. So it's one of those things where a lot of times people don't realize how difficult it is, and you just toss them the ball and say, well, try it. And then it's a very humbling experience when they try it and they can't do it. So that's usually my test of, here, you think you can long snap? Try it out.
Well, the amazing thing about you is, on top of how difficult long snapping is, you also show off what a great athlete you are in coverage. I think about the play in 2017. You forced a fumble on Darren Sproles. Yeah. It's like a quarterback throwing a pass to himself. I mean, you snap the ball, you get downfield, and you're able to force a fumble. What do you remember about that moment?
Well, when I first came in the league, I wanted to make every tackle. I mean, I knew I was a good athlete, and I was like, I need to prove this week in and week out that I can be an athlete and go down and make a tackle. And Dustin Colquitt at the time said, hey, I know you're a great athlete, but you're here to snap first. So he kind of brought me back down a little bit and said, hey, you need to snap first, then protect, and then cover. And so I took that advice and ran with it and tried to apply that throughout my career, and try to be a snapper first and then an athlete. But if you're an athlete, that comes natural. You just go play, and sometimes it lines up, where you're in the right place at the right time, and with a high level of effort, sometimes you're just there, and you can make a play. And so for that play against Sproles, it was pretty incredible to have that, you know, on my resume and get to be a part of that. And especially for a guy that grew up watching Darren Sproles play and then forcing a fumble against him in a you know, key moment in the game, that was a memory that I'll always remember for sure.
Now, speaking of memories, you have some great memories, of course, aside from just the football stuff here in Kansas City. You got to go up with the Blue Angels a couple of years ago.
Yes, sir.
Our franchise team went out with you hunting even just a couple weeks ago. How important is that kind of stuff to you, getting away from football, just experiencing life?
It's huge, you know, and a lot of people don't realize that, you know, everybody in this building, whether it's coaches, players, staff, everyone, you know, we all have lives outside of football. And, you know, there is a side of that you need to get away and you need to spend time with family. You need to go do things. While we don't have a ton of time, depending on your role in this building, when you do have the opportunity, it's important to take it.
Yeah.
And, you know, everyone has different hobbies and things they want to do. And so to have the opportunity to get out and do some of the things that I love personally, whether it was fly with the Blue Angels or get out and take my son hunting, I mean, those are things that, you know, I you know, cherish, and the time that you have, you know, no day is promised. So, right, so you get out and you enjoy time with family and loved ones and enjoy this and that or whatever your hobby is.
My last question for you. You've snapped 1,000 balls in your career, but in Glendale, Arizona, you knew you were this close to a second Super Bowl ring. Just got to get a good snap to Tommy, and he'll hold it for Harrison.
Yeah.
Walk me through that moment and how you kept your composure.
Well, you know, I think as a specialist, kicker, punter, snapper, I think you always dream of having a game-winning snap, kick or punt. You know, you always dream of you know, snapping a Super Bowl winning, and even as a kid, if you grew up, no matter what you did, if you were a receiver, quarterback, you always imagine having an opportunity to be not only a part of a forever team, but having a hand in it, you know? And so for that to line up and the way our season went, you know, in special teams and having the opportunity to have a hand in that final snap, you know, great hold by Tommy, great kick by Harrison, and to celebrate that and to bring that back to Chiefs Kingdom, be world champions for the second time in what, 4 years, absolutely incredible. I mean, a lifetime dream, and just fortunate to be here and to have had that opportunity and have the career that I've had.
There are long snappers, and then there's this guy, two-time Super Bowl champion, James Winchester.